our right leg, noticing your core muscles, so trying to stay as even as we can as we let the knee fall to one side and then the other. So just gently trying to engage. And when I talk about bracing our abs, we're not trying to suck them in or push them out. We're just trying to wake them up. So if imagine somebody's going to come and give you a little push, a little punch, and your muscles would be there to resist and protect. That's all we're looking for. Perfect. Okay, and then from here, we're going to bring one knee in. And then let's bring it in far enough so you can really feel your back flatten out. And maybe today, if it's okay for your hands, bring them right behind your bottom ribs. If that hurts your shoulders, then just bring in far enough that you can feel your bottom ribs press against the floor. But your hands there will give you a little feedback, because the goal here, we're going to start to lower this leg towards the floor, and you're pushing your back against your hands. And if you find there's a point that you can't keep that connection or that engagement or that push, that's where you stop. So it's not about touching the floor, it's about where we can safely go without putting excess pressure on our back, because we don't have enough strength to stabilize that leg. And if that's easy, we just go further away and in and out. And in. Let's go 3 more. Nice work. And 2 more. And very last one. Beautiful. And then come down. You might want to give your legs a little shake. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Draw it in until you can really tighten up and connect. And we call this ribs to hips, when we're tightening up here. So almost imagining duct tape from your ribs to your hips and trying to hold that connection as we point the toe and start to lower it down. Again, it's going to be easier closer to your bum, and it's going to be harder if you go further away. And we just work with whatever range we can work without feeling that change in our back. Awesome. 2 more. And last one. Nice work. And down, little shake. Okay, now we're going to lift both knees. Now press into your hands, and we're going to start to lower instead of lowering out, let's reach out. It's going to be a little easier. So again, just seeing if you can keep that connection and that tightness. It's going to be easier if you're higher towards the ceiling. It's going to be a little harder the lower you go. And the trick is to find what we call our stabilization threshold, where we can keep pressing on the hands without losing that pressure as we reach out and in. Let's go with 4 and 3. How about 2 more? And last one. Good job. One leg down and then the other. Let's bring the hands out. So just slide them down towards the floor. And walk the feet up towards the hands. And now really want to squeeze the bum muscles. So it's tightening up. And cinch the waist so we're still connected here as we lift. Let's hold it there for 5. Looking down past the nose and lengthening through the back of the neck. 4. 3, nice and even through the shoulders. 2, and down. Now there's a really interesting cue that Stuart McGill uses. You imagine there's the most expensive coin ever between your buttocks and you don't want it to fall down. Not my cue, but it works. Squeeze the glutes. Toes are grabbing the floor. Up we go. So don't let that coin fall out, because this is all about really, really focusing on the glutes if you want to help with your back pain. And relax. And squeeze glutes. And sometimes helping with your back pain just means doing the right exercises to prevent back pain. Because we're all getting older and we want to keep ourselves healthy. And one more. Squeeze, lift, and hold. 4 and 3 and 2, and down. Nice job. Okay, from here, let's go with the dead bug. We're gonna lift both knees up again. And again, let's just hold on to them and draw them in until you feel that flatness through your back and that connection through your ribs. And then we're gonna raise the arms up. And now, as we start, let's start with just that single leg. Start to reach it out. And so make sure that you're keeping your back flat. Again, remember, if that's hard, you go higher. Just want to be able to keep those ribs down. Okay, now let's go with the arms. So we're going to push the ribs down. Now we're going to stabilize this way. So see if when you lift the arm up, if you can keep the ribs from lifting. And then the other side. Okay, ready to put it all together? When that left leg reaches out, the right arm's going to come overhead. And in. And switch. And in. And switch. And in. And switch. And in. Let's go one more. One more each side. Last one. Perfect. Bring it in. Nice work. Little shake. Well done. Okay. From here, today I want to get all of the top back exercises in. So let's go straight to our side. So we want to work those muscles between the ribs and hips and the side. We're stacking everything up. The abs are engaged, so pull yourself up away from the floor so it's not just that. We're here, we're active. Inner thighs are engaged, feet, we're gonna lift and hold. Let's go 5 and 4, 3, and 2, and down. Now if you wanna make that one a little more challenging, all we need, and you can hold on for this, all you need is a little flutter kick. And let's actually make it a little bigger today. So now we're challenging that center of support. Perfect, and reconnect and release. Nice work. Okay, so the next one let's just bring the knees in. We're gonna go with the clam, so hips, belly button facing forward. That doesn't change when we open up. So a lot of times when we're trying to really open up, since we don't have that access or range of motion, we'll roll our body. That's a no-no. Let's try to keep everything still and make it happen from your hips. Nice job. And open. And release. And open. And release. Low abs are still engaged. Open and release. We'll go 4 more and release. And 3 more and release. And 2 more and release. And last one and release. Good job. Okay, from here, we're gonna pop up to the elbow. And when you do this, the most common mistake people make are against succumbing to gravity. So we're pulling up, core's engaged. We're trying to have a nice straight line down our spine. Perfect. And then from here, you're trying to use the muscles underneath to lift up and away. So we're just gonna lift up. And then today, let's push the hips out so we make that nice straight line up. Let's hold it there for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, and then sit back in that chair. Let's do one more time with that bridge. That bridge has a little bit of hip drive in it. So we're gonna lift, and then we're gonna push forward, and we're gonna lengthen as we hold up. 5 and 4, 3 and 2, and sit back down in that chair. Nice work. Okay, from here, let's come onto our bellies. I'm gonna stay up on the elbow right now and just pull up away from the floor with my belly button. With that left leg, let's just squeeze that invisible tennis ball behind it. Then a little more weight in that hip and lengthen that knee away. And if you find you're really cramping, you can point your toe. If not, just keep squeezing. Because in a second, I'm gonna be lifting that leg up. And if the the hip flexor is super tight, you're gonna have to fight that hip flexor and it might dig into your back. And relax. Okay, other side. We're gonna squeeze in, we're gonna put a little more weight on that hip. We're gonna squeeze, 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 and release. Awesome, relax. Nice work. Okay, from here, let's do a shoulder stabilizer. So pay attention to where your shoulders are. We're gonna let the arm come out to the front. So we're gonna slide it forward. We're trying not to let that shoulder dip when this happens. So try to use your core to stay as we slide in and out. Now also notice your hip bones and try not to let them be heavier and sway on one side. So that's all part of core engagement. So we're gonna slide that hand out, saying it even as we can through the hip bones. And in. And now we're gonna come out to the side. So we're gonna bring that arm out to the side, trying not to shift through the hip bones. It's gonna happen a little bit, but we try to avoid it by using our core. Other side. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna add on to that. Are you ready? Make sure the elbows are right under the shoulder. We don't want to strain the shoulders. And then we're gonna reach the arm out. Let's see if we can lift, lower, and slide. Other side, slide it out. Lift, lower, and in. How about to the side, trying to even out through the hips. Lift, lower, and in. One more side, out, lift, lower, and down. Nice work. And now we can come all the way down. I'm gonna let the knees be fairly wide, and I'm just gonna bend the feet in, and let's windshield wiper. So we're just going back and forth, paying attention to the hips and trying to keep them level. Perfect, and now one heel comes up to the ceiling, the other leg is down. We're gonna try to push the ceiling away with our heel. Let's go up and hold, 3, 2, 1, and down. Up and hold, 3, 2, 1, and down. Up and hold, 3, 2, 1, and down. One more time, up and hold, 3, 2, 1, and release. Other side, foot's flexed. We're gonna come up and hold, 3, 2, 1, and down. More weight on that hip. We're trying to avoid lifting it as much as we can. 3, 2, 1, and release. And push, 3, 2, 1, and release. One more time, push, 3, 2, 1, and release. Awesome. Okay, from here, let's imagine there's a block beside our left foot, and we're just going to jump that leg over the invisible block, and then jump it back. Now, same thing on the other side, trying to keep the hips as level as we can, and jump it back. One more on each side. Up, and back. And last one. And back. Okay, from here, I'm going to look directly down at the mat. So my nose is to the mat. Hands are to the side. The palms are pressing into the floor. And again, looking straight down at the mat. First thing I'm going to do is peel my thumbs away. So try to externally rotate and relax. So let's peel the thumbs away and drive the fingers to the heels. We're going to add on. We're going to peel the thumbs away, drive the fingers down, and start to peel the sternum away from the mat, but still keep looking down at the mat. 5 and 4, 3 and 2, and down. Nice work. And looking down at the mat, to peel the thumbs, drive the hands down, lift the chest. 5 and 4, 3 and 2, and down. These are posture exercises. Lift. 5, 4, 3. Keep rotating the thumbs. 2 and down. And one more. 5 and 4, 3 and 2, and down. Beautiful. Okay, from here, let's cross the ankles, cinch the waist. So ribs to hips, we're gonna tighten up. I think it's really important we do push-ups as much as we can, because if we ever fall, we need the ability to be able to lift our body weight and get off the floor. It doesn't have to be pretty, just gonna connect and come up. Awesome, and then down, and then up, and down, and up. Let's just go 2 more. You'll thank me someday, promise, and 1 more. And up, beautiful. From here, we're gonna widen the knees out as wide as you can, and just a little rocking. But you'll notice my spine stays straight as I draw the heels, or the tailbone towards the heels. And nice job. Now I'm going to point the toes and just sit back on the feet just for a second. Just going to release those tight ankles. Perfect. Way to get that. Let's give the wrists a shake over here too. We're going to make a box. So the hands are directly under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. The knees are fairly wide, and if you looked at the creases of my elbows, they'd be facing each other, and that's all part of connecting shoulders. Next thing we're going to do is just become heavy, so let your chest drop. I see most people pull away. We want to really connect those shoulders. And then imagine somebody's going to come up and give you a big shove, then you'll be really strong here. And now let's flex the feet, push into the toes, and we're going to reach one leg out. And we're just going to push into the heels. Really tight through the core. And now let's let that other hand come up. And now let's make a light fist, and we're going to Superman. We're going to push that fist away from our heel. And see if you can tighten up and feel your back muscles as you hold it there for 5, lengthening for 4, 3, and 2, and in. Little shake of the tail. You do the same thing on the other side, so let it sink. Reach that heel out. Try to level out through your hips. And then the hand comes up. And we're going to make that light fist, and then we're going to tighten up the muscles as we reach and look down to the floor. 5, and 4, 3, and 2, and in. If you need to, give your wrists a little shake. Okay, my next favorite exercise is just bringing the foot out and then knee in towards the elbow and then pressing away. Try to level through the hips as you come in and out. And the reason I like this exercise is if you have fallen, we need to be able to get that leg up so that we can get up. Now let's go 2 more. And 1 more. And just down and switch. Give your tail a shake if it needs it. The leg reaches out. Oops, knee to elbow. And out. And 2. And lengthen. And 3. And lengthen. And 4. And lengthen. We have 1 more for 5. And lengthen. And release. Good job. Now we're going to bring the head all the way over to that other side. And when you're ready, we're stacking up, pulling up, squeezing inner thighs, heels, balls of feet as we lift and lengthen. Let's go 5 and 4, 3 and 2. You're almost there for 1. Okay, up. You decide whether you want that little kick. And then reconnecting from the inner thighs to the heels. And release. Nice work. We're going to bend the knees in. Get ready for the clams as we open and release. 2. And release. And 3. and 4. Okay, a little faster with the next 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Nice job. Okay, from here we're going to pop ourselves up to that elbow. Elbows directly under the shoulder. We're pulling away. Shoulders are stacked as we lift away and push the hip forward. Hold it there for 5 and 4. Trying to pull up away from the floor. 3 and 2. And then sitting back in that chair. Okay, first we lift and then we drive that hip forward as we come up. Reaching for the sky. 5 and 4. You're almost there. 3. We have 2. We have 1. And release. Beautiful. Okay, let's roll onto our back. We're going to grab that rubber band now and just put it over the right heel. So often, or sometimes at least, low back pain comes from your hips. So sometimes the hip muscles are too tight, and when you go to walk or lift your leg, it forces that back and forth. So stretching at the hips goes a long ways towards releasing that low back. So let's start with the straight leg. And we're going to lift that straight leg up as high as you're comfortable. And remember, try not to lift the shoulders. The shoulders are down. And we're pushing into the rubber band and keeping that leg straight. And let's just keep breathing as we hold it. And as we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, we're going to take all that tension out of our neck and shoulders. Every exhale, you might be able to bring that leg a little closer and just holding it there. And then when you're ready, we're going to soften the knee. And we're going to start to let that leg fall out to the side. Now, when you do that, you might notice this hip wants to lift up. So let's bring that knee out a little wider and maybe the arm a little wider. And just see if we can keep your back straight while that hip releases, because we don't want to make this a low back stretch. Just wherever you're comfy. The knees a wee bit soft, and we're just letting gravity open up that hip for you. Nice deep breathing. And that leg just opens up a little bit more with each exhale. And relax the shoulders, check for tension. Beautiful, and now we want to engage the abs to bring that leg up. I'm going to straighten this guy just to get him out of the way. We're going to turn your baby toe inward towards your opposite ear and just switch hands. But the bum still stays down. I don't want to, it's not about rotating the low back right now. I want to get as much through kind of the IT piriformis as we can, and we're only going to get that if that hip's down. If I went further and lifted my bum, it would be a lower back rotation. And since, we're trying to avoid stress on the low back, a lot of stretching and rotation will probably not be your friend, so make it about the hips versus that low back. Awesome, okay, let's switch sides. I'm going to go with that straight leg, pushing up. Tailbone stays down. We're going to breathe as we press into that rubber band. Nice job. Relax. This is your fun time. This is the time to just relax, release. And now as you breathe, try to draw the breath right down to your belly button. We're going to just tap into that parasympathetic, the relax and release system. And now when you're ready, let's soften that knee. Now remember, we want to keep your back flat, so we probably want to let that other knee come out, maybe the hand come out, so that we can anchor our hips and use the abs. Anchor the hips as flat as, or the back of your hips, your sacrum as much as you can, so that this movement actually is a hip stretch versus a low back stretch. And just breathing into it. One more big breath, and then we're going to bring that leg all the way up. And let's go a little baby toe towards the opposite ear, with or without straightening that other leg, whatever feels right for you today. Beautiful. One more big breath here. Awesome. And just come on up to seated. We're all done. So sit however you're comfortable. Just give it a quick stretch with the arms. Let's let the arms come up. And if you're okay, over. Don't force it. Shouldn't hurt.